Well, it's a game week. How's that feel?
Feels great, Nathan. I tell you, he's have been here a long time, and they're just ready to play against somebody. You know, we're just keeping our fingers crossed and praying every day that we can get to that game. I mean, I think all we can do is worry about what we can do in terms of controlling ourselves, and our guys have done a great job. We've taken a couple tests already. We got another one here tomorrow, and then we'll head down to Kansas City, and we're excited. I think our guys are excited about competing, and they're, just like everybody this time of year, you're kind of tired of competing against each other, and you're ready to go up against somebody else.
How confident are you, especially after you were snake bitten last year with the season getting canceled right when you're getting the postseason? How confident are you that you'll get to play a full year and get to play in a tournament?
Well, I am confident there probably will be a tournament. I don't know that, how all the regular season stuff will look. And, there's some things in place now where minimum of 13 games to be played to qualify for the NCAA tournament. And so that's the magic number. But we'll see what happens as we get started here. I think, right now, I love, here at Tulsa, I feel, real good about our infrastructure and how we are trying to keep our guys healthy and safe. And, we don't plan on having fans until January. I think December 18th is the date. So we'll see how it goes. I think we're doing everything necessary for us to get off to a start of playing games and trying to get to that magic number of 13. Now, league play starts here in December, and that's going to be critical, in terms of trying to get to an opportunity to have postseason play. So, but like I said, to start this question is that I do feel confident we'll have an NCAA tournament.
Frank, I'm just going to butt in here before another question, just to clarify with Coach. We will have a release that will go out this afternoon that will outline kind of the start of basketball season with the no fans and all that. So you will get that sometime this afternoon, maybe earlier.
Sorry about that, DT. I jumped your gun there, buddy.
No, you're good, Coach. That's fine. We're just waiting for final approvals, but it will actually be be at least through December 19th now. So, but we will get that out to you a little bit more official this afternoon.
Frank, in the past, typically teams use the non-conference time to kind of get things going as a lead up to conference play. When that's kind of shortened, how important has a lead up been, to this point to get kind of a jump start on things?
Well, Kelly, you look at our schedule. I mean, this trip this weekend, we're going to play against high level teams, and I think what we will have if we get through a lot of our non-league games, we'll have and we have some success. We'll have a pretty good resume for postseason, and it's built that way. So hopefully we can get off to a good start, But we're definitely jumping right into this thing quickly. You look at the trip to Kansas City, we come back, we got ORU. I think they're picked high in their league, and then you have Arkansas coming in here. So it's a great non-league schedule, and then you start your league play. And our first game is Wichita State here in our house, and then I think we got Memphis and Houston all back to back. So it's you're going to have opportunities early on, and I like where we're at. But it's one of those things when you practice, you really don't until you start playing against somebody, you really don't know what you truly have. And but I do know from our practices we feel good about our talent level, and now we got to see how we play well together.
Frank, talk a little bit about your newcomers. I'm not going to consider Keyshawn's kind of a newcomer, but since he's been here. But talk about some of the new people the fans are going to see this year. Just talk about how they're doing.
Keyshawn Embry and Curtis Haywood. Both those guys will be rotational guys and have tremendous impact. They're both Oklahoma kids. I think they were here last season. with our team. So there'll be newcomers to the court this year. But both of those guys, if you remember, because they're from the state, they had really good high school careers. I think Keyshawn Embry was one of the, I don't know if he's the #1 player in the state or #2 player at the time when he came out. I know he ended up going to IMG prior to going to Arkansas. But Curtis Haywood too, both, went to Power 5 schools. And they're good. They're good players. So they'll be great additions. Ryan Ginger is another young man. He's kind of on the shelf a little bit right now, but that a local kid that will part of that crew that set out last season. And but we've got a couple of newcomers, and I think Keyshawn Williams and Austin Ritchie and Ray, all three of those guys, I feel like will have a chance early on. That's not to say some of our other guys won't eventually, but I think early on, those three guys have established themselves, and they'll be part of our rotation.
Frank, TU's football team has maybe been affected by postponements and cancellations as much as almost anybody in the country. It seems like that stuff's probably inevitable at some point. How good do you feel about the contingency plans, if you will, and how you alter, practice and preparation and everything? Or, is that more of a, we have to wait until, we're there and fly by the seat of our pants sort of thing? Can you make those plans this far in advance?
Yeah, and I think there's, in terms of rescheduling games, right now, we kind of just, I saw Arizona State Baylor situation, and all of a sudden they got another team fill into that, and you get at times like this, all you can do is just be positive with your team and encourage them to do the right things. And we have the 3 things we talk about all the time: wash your hands, social distance, and wear a mask, and do all the right things we can do. Those are the things we can control. And as a coaching staff, we want to be positive and encouraging and work every day to get better, to improve ourselves. And then we got to be able to, make adjustments if we have to. But right now you can't, I don't think we spend a lot of time worrying about those things, Kate. I think we got to spend all our time just, encouraging, motivating, and trying to get our guys to do the right things and prepare ourselves.
Have you been happy with how they've done that so far? I don't know if you guys have had to pause practice at all in the last few weeks, but have you been happy with that so far?
Absolutely. I mean, we're testing often, and I think our guys have done a great job there. We haven't had any, since we started practice, we haven't official practice, we haven't had any pause. I'll knock on some wood here. I don't know if I got any wood up here, but we've done a good job with that. And I think, like I said earlier, I think our infrastructure, our football team's done a great job with that. I think our infrastructure allows us to do a good job with that. If guys, for the most part, buy into what we're trying to do, and I think our guys have. And it's kind of scary because we haven't had a lot of, pause practice opportunity things that, you look across the country. I talked to Rick Barnes last night, and he got hit with it. So this thing is on fire a little bit right now, so you got to be extra careful.
We're about to talk to, I guess, 3 seniors. How important are those guys, or how much more important are those guys in times of uncertainty like this?
TJ, I think I love our leadership. I love what those 3 guys have meant to this university and this program, and DJ's and Eli's case for 4 years, and Brandon and I don't know if you speak to Manny, but for the last 2 years, those 2 guys. But I've seen those guys grow, and that's the beauty of seeing seniors. You see their maturation over that period of time, and you can't win if you don't have a good locker room. And I know that those guys have all embraced what our program, our culture is all about. And if you got to have people of leadership that are speaking the language you're speaking to have success. And I feel real good about those guys understanding what it takes to win. Obviously, they had a chance. They were part of a championship team last year, but they also understand what it takes to have a championship locker room. And I think, what are kids saying when you're not around? And I think the messaging from those guys will be what we want them to give. And that excites me most about this team. I think we have a really good locker room and really good understanding of what we have to do to be successful.
This might be a silly question, so bear with me. How much more important are these games in terms of, you're mentioning you have to play a certain amount just to get postseason eligible. Every game is always important, obviously, we know that, but now that there is a limit of games you have to play or a threshold you have to meet, how much more important does each game become, knowing that something completely out of your control could be having a game taken away from you, if you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, extremely important, but I think you focus on each game individually. Like right now, all we're worried about is TCU, is getting to Saturday and getting to that moment where we have that ball tossed in the air that Saturday, and and then you go to the next one. I think we've been very conscientious about our guys just staying in the moment and encouraging them to stay focused on the task at hand and not getting ahead of ourselves. And we know that threshold, that number is 13, but I think our focus is number 1 right now, and taking care of that, and then moving on to the next one. I feel, like I said, I think this is obviously very unique experience and a unique year is going to be, and there's going to be some team out there to handle all the tough things that are going to be thrown at them this year very well. And there's going to be a national champion. I believe that. There's going to be teams that make the NCAA tournament. I believe that. So, we got to just take care of our business, focus on just our day to day, and take care of business, winning every day. That's what we got to do, is win every day. All those 13 games or whatever that number may end up being will take care of itself. We're good, guys. I appreciate y'all being here.